Hey guys, what's up? It's iPhone here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Atterax. This is a weapon that I get asked a lot of questions about on stream, and I get a lot of people asking me if they can, build this weapon without using Maiming Strike, and that's what I'm going to show in today's video, because, contrary to, popular belief, you don't necessarily get most of your damage from the Atterax from the crit damage, right? There's a lot of status effects that come into play whenever you are dealing a lot of damage with the Atterax, and that's what I'm going to try to demonstrate in today's video. So we're going to be using two builds. I'm going to be using one with True Steel, and I'm going to be using one with Maiming Strike. Maiming Strike is the build that you use if you have Maiming Strike, because it's the better build, and True Steel is the one that you use if you don't have Maiming Strike, because you don't have Maiming Strike. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build and kind of break it down and talk about what all the mods do. I'll go ahead and remove True Steel and Maiming Strike and just talk about all the other mods first, because this is where the sort of fun takes place, right? So pressure point here, obviously this just increases all of our damage stats, so we deal more damage. That's basically common sense. Prime reach on here, because this increases the range of your Atterax, so we're going to be dealing most of our damage by doing a slide attack, which looks a little bit like this if you're completely new to Warframe. And that's basically the whip just kind of detaching itself from the base, if we take a look at it. And it's sort of extending out. So anything caught in that radius is going to be hit. And then they're going to have, a status effect or, the crit damage dealt to the enemy that's caught in that little whip right there. So that's like the wire and everything, okay? So we throw Prime Reach on there just to extend how far it can go. Obviously, if you don't have either of the Prime mods, you can throw on the regular versions. However, the stat difference between the two are very substantial, so it's worth getting your hands on the Prime versions as soon as possible. Next up, we have Berserker on here, because we are going to be critting on both of the builds. So it just makes sense to have the mod on, which is going to increase our attack speed as we crit, because this way you're going to get more attack speed using this than using something like Fury or Prime Fury. Of course, if you're more confident with either of those mods, feel free. I'm not the god of Warframe modding, so you can do whatever suits you best, but I like using Berserker because I feel like it gives the most attack speed, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and throw on. Organ Shatter on here to increase our crit damage, because like I said, we are going to be critting because of the mods that we're throwing on, and it would make no sense not to have this mod on. Moving on to Blood Rush Body Count, Drifting Contact, and Weeping Wounds. These mods all kind of work in conjunction with one another. Drifting Contact is here to basically extend the duration of your combo counter, so whenever you get a melee hit, your combo basically starts, and having this mod on will increase the duration that you can kind of keep that combo counter up for, so you can keep on adding on top of that. As you build up that combo counter, what's going to happen is you're going to get like a damage multiplier, which is going to allow you to deal more damage. You also get 40% extra status chance with this mod, so there's no reason not to have on this build. Moving on to Blood Rush, we have 165% critical chance, which is going to stack with your combo multiplier. So as you're building up that combo multiplier, dealing more damage with that, you're also going to be getting more critical chance, allowing you to do things like, get red crits, which is going to multiply your damage even further. And then we, last but not least, have Weeping Wounds on here, which gives us 45% status chance, which is also going to stack with your combo multiplier, which is just going to allow you to deal more status effects in the form of slash status effects, because slash is our highest damage value on the weapon. So we have 107.1, or yeah, 107.1 compared to our 6.0 in impact and puncture. So 9 times out of 10, we're going to be hitting slash status procs instead of like impact or puncture procs. I would actually, actually, no, I'm not going to say that, because then someone would actually go out and do it. But, I would be excited if someone, or not excited, but I would be stunned or blown away if someone could get me a screenshot of them doing an impact or puncture status effect with the Atterax. Like if they went in and, did the spin attack so many times that they could get one, that would be cool. Obviously, the slam attacks don't count, so you can't just jump and then slam down. You gotta get it with the slide attack. So, yeah. But other than that, we have our final slot here, which you either put in Maiming Strike or True Steel. So, like I said, if you don't have Maiming Strike, you throw on True Steel. If you do have Maiming Strike, then you want to go ahead and throw on Maiming Strike. Maiming Strike is an event mod that you get off Acolytes, and currently right now it goes anywhere between 600 to 800 platinum. I'd say the average price is about 700. I've seen people sell it for 684, weird prices like that there. So if you want to spend money in this thing, I mean, I wouldn't say it's worth it, if I'm being honest, because you can get almost similar results with True Steel, and it really all depends what type of content that you're doing, which will sort of determine which mod you use, if you're like just a casual player and you don't have Maiming Strike. So I'm here to help you make the decision, but I'll show you guys the effects of Maiming Strike first, so then we can compare it to True Steel, and you can tell me what you think. Personally, I think that having Maiming Strike is great if you have it, but I would not go out of my way to spend 700 odd platinum on this mod. Like, this mod isn't overpowered like people make it out to be, because like I mentioned, or at least I hope I mentioned, that most of the damage that comes from the Atterax actually comes from the status procs, because how it works is you're going to deal your initial damage with the status proc, or not the status proc, sorry, with like just your initial damage, and then it's going to do the status proc, and then it's going to take like a decent amount from your initial damage and deal that in the status proc. And then because you're proccing so many status procs because you have the high status chance, then it's going to be like some insane damage over time, because the slash damage directly eats away at the enemy's base health. So it's just some insane damage that you're going to be dealing here. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to spawn in level 145 heavy corrupted heavy corrupted or corrupted heavy gunners. 1 derp per video. In fact, I feel like I've done many derps this video, but whatever. Let's go ahead and spawn in. Let's do 20 of them just to show the effect. And then let's go ahead, bump these guys up to level 145. Make ourselves invincible because I don't want to die over and over again. And simulate. Bring this here thing out. We're going to speed myself up. That was a weird stutter. Speed myself up so then we can obviously proc this stuff faster. I'm going to say, why are these guys not shooting at me? But here we go. You can see the red crits, and the red crits deal like 192 damage, but look at the status. The status is what is killing these guys. So it's taking, you know, a little bit from the base damage that you deal, and then dealing that in status effects back to the enemies. So it's just dealing some insane damage over time. And that's why you see people running free missions with the Atterax, kind of just, you know, wiping away at them. Or swiping away at them, and then, just kind of leaving them for dead, like just walking past them. So you'll see that the numbers are insanely high here, and that's because you're hitting them so much, it's dealing like all these different sort of like amounts of damage. Kind of insane. So, and now these guys are all dead. So those were level 145 enemies. Keep that in mind. I got this one guy over here who thinks he's a badass, so he's dead now. And yeah, level 145 enemies. Dead in an instant. Like, you barely had to use any energy. You didn't have to shoot them. You didn't have to strip away their armor. It's just those status procs, man. Like, those status procs are insane. Like, you've seen it yourself. We're not necessarily hitting high numbers in these guys whenever it comes to our basic swings. We swing at them once, 99 damage. Swing at them twice, 473. Of course, the damage is going to scale, like, very high because you keep on getting that combo multiplier based on the amount of enemies that you're hitting and how many times you hit them. But that's you know, part of the process, right? The damage scales insanely well because of the amount of times that you're hitting and the amount of damage that you're hitting for. It just allows the damage to keep on constantly scaling up. So, you know, pay attention to the damage numbers. Also pay attention to the symbols. You know, you're dealing the slash procs. You know, you got the slash proc damage. See, like, their health just disappearing. It's kind of insane, right? So, here we go. Let's get this guy dead. Watch his health just deplete right there. And he's dead, you know? Do the same to this guy. Rest in peace him, you know? I was like, that was going down like a quarter of health a second there, and that last guy there, because of all the damage that we had stored up. But, yeah, that's it with Maiming Strike on. Now let's sort of see the comparison between Maiming Strike and True Steel. Now, what I will say is you're going to kill these guys a lot slower with True Steel because you're not getting that initial flat 90% increase to your critical chance that you would be getting with Maiming Strike, because it's not a... Maiming Strike isn't a percentage increase. Like, most mods in the game do like a percentage increase. This is a flat 90% that you're getting, right? So what I mean by percentage increase, it takes a percentage off your base percentage or whatever, and then it adds that percentage on top. So like if you had 15% of 100, so, you know, you're going to, let's say your mod says, you know, 15% toxin damage and you're dealing 100 damage, you would be dealing 115 damage because it's only taking the 15% and then adding it on top. This is a flat 90% right here. So you're getting the 90% on your slide attack plus the 25 that you have base for your critical chance, and then putting it on top where your True Steel here is doing the other percentage increase where it's taking the percentage and then adding it on top. So that's basically that. So we're going to kill these guys a lot slower. And that's just a given, okay? So it's going to take us longer to build up our damage because it's going to take us longer to build up our combo. It's going to take us longer to build up our crit multiplier, which means it's going to take us longer to build up our status bleed damage, okay? So let's jump in and do the same thing. You see the damage is a lot lower. We're dealing orange numbers, but notice how the status effects kind of still high, still dealing damage. So you just have to hit them a lot faster and a lot more, and that's basically all there is to it. So pay attention to their health. It's just dying, just going down. Gonna try to angle myself so I just keep on going into the wall here, kind of just hit everything around me like so. Here we go. Everything will just die around me as it pushes up here. So this is what you normally do with an Atterax if you're playing like a defense mission or something. So get these guys dead. See, and this guy, these guys over here. Now you see we're dealing like more or less similar damage as we were with the Maiming strike whenever it comes to the status procs. Of course, the status procs aren't that deadly right now, but they're still taking effect just in smaller sort of instances, you know? So these guys will still die. Just smaller damage numbers right there. So that's basically it. Of course, we killed them a lot slower, but we still got the same effect because of the status chance, you know? So you have to sort of ask yourself, is Maiming Strike worth that 700, 600, 800 platinum that I would be willing to pay for it? Or is it just a matter of, you know, just playing a little bit more careful and knowing what it is that's actually dealing the damage? Because, like, a lot of people get into this mindset where, like, oh, you know, this YouTuber or this streamer is dealing this thing with this mod, and it's because of that mod. But, you know, it's because of a different mechanic, right? So buying Maiming Strike, in my opinion, is not worth it. I would recommend against it, actually. So, you know, just take a look at this and then kill things. Right, that's really all there is to it. And just to kind of, you know, show you how this sort of stacks up in like a real world, and I'm stuttering so much today, a real world situation. And I know I'm going to get some flack for that. But whoa, do you see those Lotus flags there? But let's jump into like an Axie Fisher or something and sort of see the damage that we deal. Survival Grenier, sure. Let's do 5 minutes in here and then see how it goes. Let's just choose any old relic, equip for mission. And just see how it plays out, right? Actually, I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to play this vault, but I'm going to go to... can I go to... What idea? Equipment, and then we go to Arsenal. There we go. So, you know, there's many ways that you could take advantage of your multipliers and stuff whenever it comes to the Atterax. You could put on stealth multipliers. You could use... it was M-Prime to deal more damage. You know, there's a lot of ways to do it. You could use Rhino's Roar or something like that there. You could play as Octavia. Octavia is probably one of my personal favorites whenever it comes to using the Atterax. You can use Equinox. I think Equinox is actually really fun to use whenever you're using the Atterax because you're able to store up the slash damage so quickly. So I'm going to use Equinox and show you how I use the Atterax in conjunction with Equinox to deal massive amounts of damage. So let's just go ahead and do this. We'll keep our True Steel on, of course, just to sort of demonstrate in a real world scenario. There we go. In my way around saying situation, because Tactical Potato, he takes the piss out of people from Northern Ireland for saying situation because of the frostbite and frostbite. Man, I'm talking the biggest little shit right now. But let's just jump into it, you know. But yeah, people from Northern Ireland tend to have weird accents, like really thick, weird accents. But man, it's bad. It's really bad. But enough about my accent and shit. Let's just play the video game. Play the video game. So here we go. I've never actually seen this before. Like just spawning in here for a survival mission. That's new, but whatever. So yeah, like I was saying, if you look up Northern Irish boy says frostbite with thick accent, takes the piss because of that, and situation, like if you say it with a really thick accent as well, then you'll tend to get the piss taken out of you too. So what I would do here, I know these guys are doing a shit ton of damage to me here, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit 3, and then I'm gonna hit 4, and then that's gonna stun these guys, and that's gonna let me build up my damage with Equinox and Maiming Strike right here. So you want to stay in cover. You're not gonna like insta kill these guys, but just play a little smart, and then you should be good to go. Also, like, if you're having trouble, you know, with Equinox and this build, go ahead, sleep them all, and then use your maim. Or men, sorry. Then you can heal yourself, you know? So, go ahead and damage these guys. Heal myself, and there we go. Back up to full health. So, hit this again. Sorry, no. Hit my 3. No, I hit my 4. Then start building up our combo again. And then we'll kill these guys really fast and really efficiently. So you just have to manage your resources, really, whenever it comes to using it. We'll be able to kill these guys as they come through the door. Because of the Atterax and the slash procs and stuff. So here we go. And this is kind of just all you do. Really cheesy mechanics coming out of my channel this week. We got the Equinox video for farming the Mesa relics. We got the Banshee video for farming the Neo relics, and now we have using the Atterax with True Steel instead of Maiming Strike. So using Maiming Strike will make this like 10 times better, but you know, just to show you guys that using True Steel is still viable. Just have to build it up and be careful. That's all. Just be careful at the beginning, and then keep your combo counter up, and then you should be good to go. Don't play like an idiot. That's basically all it is. Don't be stupid, you know? Philip DeFranco reference. Like the video if you get that. But yeah, that's more or less it. You know? Easy. 2 minutes in. These guys are what? Level 43? You could go to like level or 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And because you've already built up your damage at the start, you're going to be dealing a shit ton of damage then. Like, your scaling damage doesn't go away just because you're using True Steel versus Maiming Strike, you know? So your damage is still going to scale up. It's just going to be a lot slower, but it's definitely still there. So you can still use this at the level 20 mark, or not level 20, sorry. 20-minute mark, 15-minute mark, you know, and above. I usually only really recommend going to 20 minutes and then starting over again. Just makes more sense that way because, you know, you're not making the game difficult on yourself or struggling or anything. So, you know, if you want to efficiently farm, do it that way. And also notice how much damage we have built up on my Equinox's 4th ability up there in the top right hand corner. Like 243k. If I were to jump into a room, press 4, every single enemy would be dead, you know. No questions asked. Those guys are done. Let's do it now. You know, all dead. Everything that was in that room just died. Just dropped dead. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my thing to get my my energy regen, so I can keep that up. And then whenever I get to about 330 energy, I'll hit my maim again, start building it up. I could hit it now, but you know, make sure to kill the ancient healers because they'll screw you over. Not actually the Atterax not dealing enough damage. That's just the ancient healers being the ancient healers, you know. So that's pretty much it. All there is to it. Kill this guy. He's really squishy. Like, they have no armor or anything. But the status effects will eat the enemy's health through the armor, so it's really good. Really good. Should the Atterax be nerfed? Nah. It's just a combination of mods and how this weapon is kind of built. They might do a few stat, like, changes. Like, change around a few stats. Maybe increase puncture damage or impact damage or something, so you hit one of those, you know, instead of the actual slash procs, you're hitting puncture procs and impact procs more often, and that way you're losing out on a lot of the status damage on the Atterax. Because, I mean, no questions asked, this thing might be nerfed. Like, before this, it was the what's it called? Elosac Voltius? Yeah. Because it had a really cool effect to it. Because it would, like, you could go in and you could, like, cover an entire room with, like, this really cool, what's it called effect? Like, a really cool slide attack effect. make like an AoE side attack. Uh-oh. Am I gonna die here? Woo! That was close. But yeah, do like an AoE slide attack, and you know, you could just murder things using the exact same type of build that I was just after showing there, except it'd be more base rank crit damage. But we're gonna go ahead and extract now because I don't want to die and embarrass myself. So, you know, even though I'm professional, I would never die in a video game such as Warframe. But you know, if I put him to sleep. Oh, never mind, died anyway. Whatever, man. Whatever. Okay, but yeah, that's the Atterax in a real world environment. Don't play like a dumbass like I just did, and then you should be fine. And yeah, that's the Atterax in a nutshell. Use True Steel. If you don't have Maiming Strike, don't buy Maiming Strike. Don't waste 700, 600, 800 platinum. True Steel is perfectly fine. It just means you have to be a little bit more careful whenever it comes to building up your multiplier and stuff. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button below. And if you want to see more Warframe content from me, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. I'm going to end the video whenever the ship goes away. Right now.